Welcome to the 40th Expeditionary Signal Battalion Change of Command Ceremony. Participating in today's ceremony are Colonel James C. Parks III, the 11th Theater Tactical Signal Brigade Commander and Reviewing Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew McClellan, Outgoing Commander of 40th Expeditionary Signal Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel David A. Thomas, Incoming Commander of 40th Expeditionary Signal Battalion. The Commander of Troops is now moving onto the field with his staff to receive the formation from the battalion adjutant. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Bring your units to present arms!
Present arms!
Present arms! Present arms! Present halt! Sir, the battalion is formed.
Into command.
Bring your units to over arms and parade rest!
Order, arms, parade, rest.
Order, arms, parade, rest! Order, arms, parade, rest! Order, halt, parade, rest!
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, accompanied by the Commander of Troops, the Reviewing Officer, the outgoing and incoming commanders are preparing to troop back to Alexander the Great. The inspection of the formation of troops prior to battle has a long history. In the earliest times, the commander would assess the readiness of his soldiers and also provide his command an opportunity to recognize them before battle, as each commander had his distinct coat of arms that he wore. Today, the inspection is Lieutenant Colonel McClellan's last assessment of the warrior standing before you. At the same time, Lieutenant Colonel Thomas will get his first look at the Comrade Bay, 16 September 1966. The 40th was assigned to the 1st Signal Brigade as part of the U.S. Army Strategic Communication Command. During the war, the battalion participated in 14 campaigns and was awarded 2 meritorious unit citations. The 40th saw service in Vietnam until 28 June 1972 when it redeployed to Travis Air Force Base, California, for eventual reassignment to Fort Lewis, Washington as a Color Guard battalion. The battalion was then reorganized and reassigned to its present home, Fort Huachuca, Arizona, on 22 January 1973, where it was assigned to U.S. Army Strategic Communications Command, which later became the U.S. Army Communications Command, currently the Network Enterprise Technology Command. In August of 1990, the 40th deployed to Southwest Asia for the Gulf War and provided outstanding communications support to the United States Army Central Command during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. During the war, the 40th participated in 3 campaigns and was awarded 1 meritorious unit citation. The battalion colors returned to Fort Huachuca in April 1991, leaving a small contingent in Saudi Arabia. In January of 1993, the elements of the 40th deployed to Somalia in support of Operation Continue Hope, and in September 1994 to Haiti for Operation Uphold Democracy. Staffs are standards into battle that identify them as a unit. Throughout military history, unit colors has marked the position of the commander on the battlefield and served as a rallying point. While attacking or rallying on the battlefield, soldiers would follow the standards or guidelines of their leader. Most Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 11th Theater Tactical Signal Brigade, Colonel James C. Parks III.
Good morning. What a beautiful day to be in the presence of the great Team 40 soldiers here at Fort Huachuca. Mrs. Ashley, Mrs. Allen, Team 40th, soldiers of the 11th Signal Brigade, family, and friends, thank you for being here today as we begin a new chapter in the history of the 40th Signal Battalion. My compliments to Command Sergeant Major Reinberg. The 40th soldiers look great. That is the symbol of unit excellence. Please give them a hand. One of the many great things about our Army is our history and traditions. Today we recognize the remarkable history of the 40th Signal Battalion in conducting a tradition-rich ceremony that officially marks the change of command from Lieutenant Colonel Andy McClellan to Lieutenant Colonel Dave Thomas. Andy, his wife Christine, their sons Jonathan and Kevin have led Team 40th with dedication, devotion, duty, and self-sacrifice. 40th ESB has earned a reputation as a trained and ready force, ready to respond to short notice requirements in support of our nation's homeland. Andy, over the past 2 years, you have led these magnificent soldiers through reset after the battalion returned June 2011 from a year-long deployment to Iraq. You also came in at a time where the battalion, soldiers, family members, and surrounding communities were recovering from the threat of the monument fires. A time when many of the 40th soldiers delayed their post-deployment leave or returned from leave early in an effort to help the area produce preventive measures against these fires. Your soldiers were also part of the year-long rotation for Defense Seaburn Response Force Team, Homeland Security Mission. You supported missions to Honduras, deploying a team of soldiers to provide communication for the National Guard. The support of the soldiers both soldiers of the 40s provided were critical to the success of humanitarian efforts in Honduras. And you have continued to support the local community by having the battalion adopt Johnston Elementary School. You and the soldiers continually donated your time to the school. This generosity was appreciated by the students, teachers, and parents alike. Following your lead, Christine has often been the foundation of numerous supporting events, each of which had a remarkable and positive impact on the lives and families of others. Christine organized and supported many family readiness group events and service projects at Johnston Elementary School as well. Christine, the 11th Signal Brigade, and the 40th ESB have appreciated your support and graceful hand reaching out to our soldiers, their families, and our local community. Please, let's join me in giving Christine a hand. I would be remiss if I also didn't recognize Jonathan and Kevin. I know it has not been easy sharing your dad with the demands of Army life, but look around you. These soldiers, their family members, and the community at large have benefited from having him here more than you will ever know. I thank you for your sacrifices and the support you have shown your father and his Army family. The Thunderbirds, thank you so very much. Now, as Andy, as Christine, Jonathan, and Kevin head to the great place, Fort Hood, Texas, Andy will be my deputy brigade commander, and he has a stack of paperwork in his office waiting for him. We wish you all safe travels, and thank you both for what you have done here. We'll continue to do with the 11th Signal Brigade at Fort Hood. We're especially happy today as we welcome a very qualified and experienced leader to take command of the 40th Signal Battalion. He is absolutely deserving of taking command, and we look forward to serving with him. Today we welcome Dave Thomas, who comes to us from the United States Army Special Operations Command at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Dave is a talented leader and warrior, and he is the right soldier to lead Team 40. Dave, the sky's the limit. Take care of these soldiers, for they are some of the best you will find not only in the Signal Corps, but in the Army. I challenge you to pay special attention to their combat readiness and prepare these soldiers to be ready when called. Team 40th, you look magnificent, and I'm proud to count myself among your number as a member of the greatest Signal Brigade in the United States Army. Remember, the sun never sets on the Thunderbirds. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of the 40th Expeditionary Signal Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew S. McClellan.
Good morning. I don't think we could ask for better weather. So, to start it off, I guess earlier Colonel Parks was presenting the award, and I think several times, and it talked about the change of command being like heading to the gallows. And I kind of laughed as I was at the gazebo. But as I came back up here and I realized I was being marched up onto the platform, and I heard in the chaplain's invocation something about Lieutenant Colonel McClellan and a sacrificial offering. Maybe there's a little bit of validity in what Colonel Parks had said. Mrs. Ashley, Mrs. Allen, other distinguished guests, Fort Huachuca partners, family and friends of the 40th ESB, thank you for making the time this morning to come out and share in this special day and our change of command. As I was sitting down last night to put some thoughts down on this paper, I ended up changing the order of the words and those I would address several times. I wasn't exactly sure who or what to open my remarks with. However, in the end, I kept coming back to the same thought. The realization that command is about honor and privilege to lead soldiers, to be entrusted to take care of our nation's most precious resource, our sons and daughters, the best our nation has to offer. And I submit to you this morning, assembled before you is truly that, some of the best soldiers, sons and daughters that America has to offer. And I've had the extreme honor to hang the sign outside my door that said I was their commander. It has been humbling and without a doubt the best 2 years of my career. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the soldier of the 40th ESB. I want to say thank you to all these soldiers that took on every task with enthusiasm and determination and achieved each standard and mission. We pushed them and they responded in kind, never ceasing to amaze me at what they could accomplish. So I just want to be clear that I don't stand at this podium this morning attempting to take credit for their accomplishments. Everything this battalion is and has done is a result of their efforts. They are the 40th ESB. I was just their commander. So to all the soldiers of the 40th ESB, I thank you. I'd like to thank Colonel Dedham and Colonel Parks for allowing me this opportunity, for their trust, support, and confidence in me over the last 2 years. They always ensured I had the guidance to execute and enough room to maneuver, and provided the necessary azimuth adjustments when I needed those as well. They continually supported the battalion in every task and ensured it was resourced for success in mission accomplishments. Thanks, Sheriff. For my Iron Majors, Childers, Crawford, and Boston, you all truly set the bar high and gave it all each and every day over the last 2 years. The epitome of the professionals and made the battalion run. Your ability to anticipate issues and friction points and fix them was a welcoming sight. I know I put a couple, 1 or 2 things on your plate, and you kept coming back for more. You all simply made it look easy, a small testament to the professionals you are and how successful you will be. Thank you. I've certainly been lucky to have great leaders, great commanders and first sergeants, true leaders who know how to and have the candor to lead. It has been amazing to share these 2 years with such competent officers and NCOs, and it gives me confidence in our future. Captains Diego, Frank, Acasio, Gardner, Baca, Boundy, Lachansky, and Hairston, and First Sergeants Cherry, Lee, Allen, Stewart, Schultz, Atkinson, Duvernay, and Williamson. Thank you for your service and professionalism. Keep the football moving forward. Don't let up. And that will be a good action. Thanks. For all my staff, the thankless jobs, the long hours, the command and staff beatdowns, I can't thank you enough for all that you did for the team, our soldiers. You took every one of our areas and improved them, not for your personal gain, but to provide the best support to our companies and soldiers. It showed. I could not have handpicked any better team. Thank you. For the platoon leaders, platoon sergeants, you do all the heavy lifting each and every day. You and your NCOs are at the pointy end of the spear each day, and you have done remarkable. You have all the tools to take care and lead your soldiers, regardless of the task and mission. Keep learning, keep taking care of your soldiers. Your future is bright. Thanks. For my command sergeants major, Somerville and Reinberg, it has been a remarkable journey and one that I'm glad I was able to make with such confidence in my right arm, my command sergeant major. Knowing that when I needed the guidance, that one person to make sure I was doing it right was a great balance and resource. The journey was long but rewarding beyond any expectation, and I'm thankful I had the opportunity to take the journey with those 2 command sergeant majors. Thank you. This battalion's journey over the last 2 years has been long, redeploying from Iraq, going for reset, achieving the highest reset percentage at the 188 point of any ESB in the Army, and into the trained ready phase. Then selected to assume the DSERF mission in less than 6 months of notification, trained and validated all the teams, deployed a team to Honduras for the 3+ months in support of Army South, sent a task force to Indiana for our culminating training exercise for the DSERF mission, and assumed the mission on 1 October 2012. And over the last year, this battalion has stood ready to respond with little to no notice in the event of a national crisis to support our civil authorities, conducting numerous FDXs, validation exercises, EDREs, CIPs, and right cycle taskings, never missing a beat and never failing. It has been absolutely amazing to see how much these soldiers, all of them, the signaliers, maintainers, logisticians, food service personnel, human resource specialists, can accomplish and have day in and day out. I'd like to say a special thank you and recognize Chief Warrant Officer 3 retired Gary Birch. Besides Chris and Jonathan, he is the one person here today that has been through 2 of my command tours. He was my signal maintenance warrant officer when I commanded the 286 Signal Company at Fort Bliss, Texas. And he actually stood in both of those ceremonies when I took command and when I changed command. And he was here 2 years ago when I took command of this battalion, and he's here today. He is a true leader, the epitome of what an officer and leader does, and a great friend. Chief, thanks for taking the time to be here today. It means a lot to me. Renegades, you're getting a proven leader, an officer and commander that knows how to take care of his soldiers, and he cares. I've known Lieutenant Colonel Thomas almost my entire 20 years serving together at Fort Bragg, and I cannot think of another person I'd rather turn over the battalion to. He will easily pick up the football and keep taking it down the field. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas, I wish you the best of luck. You are getting the best battalion in the Army. Last and certainly not least, I want to thank my family. I'd like to say thanks to my mother for making the trip from Pennsylvania to be here today. Thank you for everything you have given me. I've listened to most of it. And thank you for being here on a special day. Chris, Jonathan, and Kevin, words cannot express my gratitude for all that you have endured over the last 20+ years. You never wavered and always stood ready to support me for more. You've always filled in the gaps that I've caused and kept the balls in the air, never dropping them. I know that the last 2 years have been long, and I've put you through a lot, And for that, I'm going to reward you with another move to Fort Hood, Texas. And like always, you've said yes too easy. So thank you for standing by my side day in and day out as my wife and my best friend. I love you. Thank you all for attending. Renegade 6, signing off tonight. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 40th Expeditionary Signal Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel David A. Thomas.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me again in recognizing and thanking the fabulous soldiers taking part in today's ceremony with a round of applause. Team 40th, you look great, and your reputation in the United States Army Signal Corps is second to none. Mrs. Ashley, Mrs. Allen, other distinguished guests, family and friends of the 40th ESB, I, along with Team 40th, thank you for your presence here today, and especially for your continued support and commitment to this battalion. Command is the pinnacle of an officer's career, and I am committed to earning the trust that the nation and the Army have placed in me. Colonel Parks, sir, I am dedicated to keeping this unit trained and on azimuth as we continue to execute the DSURF mission and prepare for our deployment in the spring. I would like to thank you up front for your personal investment in me during this upcoming journey, and look forward to working with you, Command Sergeant Major Rambart, and the 11th Signal Brigade team. Lieutenant Colonel McClellan, Andy, I want to offer my sincere thanks to you, Command Sergeant Major Reinberg, and your team for the warm welcome and smooth transition into the battalion. I also want to offer my congratulations on a job well done, and wish you, Chris, and the kids the best in your next assignment. Finally, and most importantly, to the soldiers and families of the 40th ESB, thank you again for the warm welcome. I am proud to join your ranks and am committed to your well-being and quality of life. I promise to give you 100% of my effort and then some each and every day. In return, I ask that each of you do the same, and the 40th ESB, our battalion, will remain a unit of excellence. All policies and procedures remain in effect until other further review. Thank you, Team 40th.
Bring your units to attention.
Company, attention.
Company, attention. Company, attention. Company, attention. Colors, post. March. Pass and review. Pass and review.
Right turn, forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated except when rendering honors to the national colors.
Right turn, forward. Right turn, forward. Right turn, forward.
Approaching the reviewing stand at this time is the staff of the 40th Expeditionary Signal Battalion and the Commander of Troops, Major Brett J. Austin. Approaching the reviewing stand is Headquarters and Headquarters Company, commanded by Captain Catherine R. Harrison. First Sergeant is First Sergeant Thomas A. Williamson.
Ready, front.
I
Approaching the reviewing stand is the Alpha Company, commanded by Captain Andrew J. Lachansky. First Sergeant Herbert J. Remain. Please stand and render honor to the national colors.
Ready, run! Good job. Right.
Approaching the reviewing stand is Bravo Company, commanded by Captain Brian F. Bounty. The first sergeant is Sergeant First Class Ramon R. Barone. Approaching the reviewing stand is Charlie Company, commanded by Captain Larry E. Blocker. The first sergeant is First Sergeant Billy J. Atkinson. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the benediction and the playing and singing of the Army song.
Let us pray. May we serve God and country with honor. Grace and peace be with you all. Amen.
Great job, Brett.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please feel free to say farewell to Lieutenant Colonel McClellan at the reviewing stand and join Lieutenant Colonel Thomas for a reception at the cathedral.
Looks like we did it just in time.
I know.